My name is Rory Brooks. I'm a businessman.
My name is Helen Pren, and at the moment I am retired and hope to remain so.
I'm Harold Tillman, Chairman of Jaeger, Chairman of Aquascutum.
My name is Kimberly Bingham and I work for ACAS.
4 very different people, 4 very different backgrounds, but all united by one idea.
It would be really nice to help somebody else.
I was at the stage of life where I was able to recontribute something.
Give something back for the success I've achieved.
What you do is you give.
And how they give and where they give is changing and enriching lives.
I think this kind of giving is an investment, very much contributing towards people's futures.
Making a real difference in higher education,
What I don't want to see is the erosion of talent.
making a real difference in the wider world.
We wanted to find an issue that was altogether of a bigger worldly view, and people do not choose to live in abject poverty.
This is Giving to Higher Education in Action.
It's just the best feeling to give.
My name's Rory. It's a great pleasure to be here. I'm really looking forward to seeing you. And to thank you for...
A warm welcome for visitors to Mutare in Kenya.
So good. We've already gone around. This is my daughter, our daughter Amelia. This is...
Guests of honour, entrepreneur Rory Brooks and his family.
Very good to meet you.
They've come to learn firsthand about the hardships of life in the developing world and how they can help bring change.
Hello, how are you?
Rory and his wife Elizabeth's philanthropic drive was the starting point for the Brooks World Poverty Institute at the University of Manchester, where Rory was once a student.
The Brooks World Poverty Institute is the research institute that is studying clearly and deeply the causes, the roots of poverty, the truth about poverty in what is a very complex situation out there in the real world.
An ordinary Kenyan cannot afford because it's become very expensive. It's become the second home for Somali refugees.
The sort of work Sammy is doing here in Mutare, identifying how poverty keeps these people in its grip, is invaluable.
Congratulations, you're doing fantastic work. Thank you, and good luck to you. Thank you.
Morning.
Thousands of miles away, just off Oxford Street in London, a guest for fashion students Charlie and Oliver.
So how's it going?
Good. I'm just kind of trying to think of an idea for a frame.
For Harold Tillman, this is a return to his roots. He started out studying here at the London College of Fashion, now part of the University of the Arts London.
I'm thinking of doing this for my final collection as well.
Yeah.
So, like you say, having a whole range of luggage.
And now his generosity is giving both these students a better future.
Many students annually have to leave, can't stay financially. And I felt that this was an opportunity for me to be able to repay in some way by creating a scholarship and putting several students every year through.
He's really interested, which kind of makes you feel fantastic about the work that you're doing.
Thank you for really recognising the need.
He's just a great guy, and hopefully others will be involved with the scheme, so to help other people like me.
I'm glad someone as recognised as him has put himself forward for this cause, and hopefully that will encourage other people to follow his example.
Have you set yourself a target of what you think this should actually ultimately be sold for?
For both Harold Tillman and Rory Brooks, it was important to join the growing band of people keen to give something back by giving back to higher education.
Having had good fortune smile upon us in our business, I was at the stage of life where I was able to recontribute something, and it seemed to me that you look at the things in your life that have influenced you and helped make you who you are, and the university seemed to be a pretty good place to start.
The world will be a very boring place if we have no design for the future. And that's, in my view, is a cause that I really personally believe in. It's a passion.
And what's attracted their support even more is the knowledge that the impact of their gift is increased through the matched funding scheme.
Match funding is a mechanism whereby the government will match an individual's donation to higher education either in whole or in part, thus incentivising them to give because they see more impact for their individual donation.
I think the match funding idea is an important issue.
From the point of view of the giver, the match funding scheme achieves a number of things. First of all, it validates their decision. There is somebody else out there who is giving money based upon the decision you're giving, and the first decision is the loneliest one, is the hardest one. So it helps, especially for first-time donors, to know that there is support and that your university, the recipient object of your gift, is channeling some government money specifically to support what you're doing.
That brings a sparkle to people's eyes. They think if they give £100, the university gets £200, then they're seeing very good gearing for their donation. And we've certainly noticed on our annual fund, which is when we ring our alumni and talk to them about giving to the university, that we get very positive feedback about the fact that they see that gearing of their donation.
The second issue is the simple fact of financial leverage. We may or may not be concerned about how much the government takes out of our revenue these days, but the fact is the government's giving something back to you yourself for doing, and for every pound, actually more than £1 is being applied to the subject of your choice. And I think those two in combination give universities some ammunition that they've not otherwise had in getting the charitable pound.
And the variety of donors and how they choose to help is expanding rapidly.
I've donated a sum of money, a sort of little lump sum of money, and I also have a sort of monthly direct debit for a smaller sum of money. So I'm contributing in that way on an ongoing basis.
For Kimberly Bingham, it was important for someone from a disadvantaged background to have the opportunities she had at Birkbeck College in London.
And I'm giving back. I feel that Birkbeck gave to me, and it's my turn to sort of reciprocate, really.
I support a student at the London South Bank University for a course in addiction counselling.
For Helen Prenn, it was to help continue the work of her son after his death 8 years ago.
I hope he'd be pleased. I think he would.
I think matched funding is a very clever way of maximising donations like the sort of thing I'm giving.
You don't have to be a very rich person to do this. You have to have the will, I think. And the match funding is, for me, absolutely crucial because I could not have afforded to do it all myself.
If in some way, you know, by me giving or others giving, you know, somebody gets through their Birkbeck course and then their life changes, which is quite feasible, that would be wonderful to think I've contributed in some way to that. Fantastic.
If we all believe, as I certainly do, that education is the key to everything, then I think the match funding is absolutely wonderful and essential.
4 stories, 1 conclusion. Matched funding has proved to be a major step forward for higher education. And all 4 are united in one more way.
They are going to reduce the portion of funding that the government supplies to the higher education sector. And there is going to be a day of reckoning out there, a period of reckoning out there, for the government then to withdraw support for the primary alternative source of funding simply doesn't make any sense.
I think sometimes money is a barrier. Lots of things are barriers, but sometimes it's the money.
In every sector, you know, from engineering through to publishing, somebody has to learn their skills somewhere.
If the government is able to give more money to those things, then all the better.
For me, it's quite a personal thing. For a government, I would have thought it was essential to encourage the inflow of funds such as mine, which allows people who might not otherwise be able to be educated to this standard to do so.
One of our prime duties is to protect the experience of it for our students. These students, be they undergraduate or postgraduate, are the future of our country. They are our future leaders, and it's crucially important that we protect the intellectual skills and social development that these individuals experience at our universities, to provide them with the wherewithal to be our leaders in the future. Matched funding, stimulating philanthropy, stimulates the donations which actually assist in providing that environment for the students.